What's good, YouTube? LTTV Combat Sports Talk. And before I start with this video, I know that I've been gone for a while. I had to take a little break from content creating and YouTube altogether. And when I was looking at the channel, I think last night, I saw that we have a few new subscribers. So for those that hit the sub button to the channel in my absence, I sincerely do appreciate that. And we're gonna keep growing. 2022 was a pretty solid year, and I'm hopeful that 2023 will be more the same. And we just keep growing and growing and growing into something much bigger. Now that we got that squared away, I'm gonna get into the topic of the video. Now, it's been reported by many that Henry Cejudo will be fighting none other than the UFC bantamweight champ, Aljamain the Funk Master Sterling, May 6th at UFC 288. Now, we last saw Henry Cejudo in the octagon against Dominic Cruz at UFC 249 in 2020. He retired soon after that fight took place, and he's been in the USADA test pool since last year, and he's taken all the random blood and urine drug tests that USADA has in place, and now he's cleared to compete. And I think the fight is going to be a pretty good fight. I think both fighters are going to go in there, leave it all inside the cage, and give the fight fans their money's worth and leave no stone unturned. Henry Cejudo is going to do what he's going to do. Aljamain is going to do what he's going to do. Both fighters come from a wrestling background. So, grappling-wise, I would say that Aljamain has the advantage. This is my opinion here, because Aljamain is a little bit more slick off his back, and he can come up with a numerous amount of submissions. And his previous fights, he's done just that. So when you really look at it, Henry has his hands full. I think that regardless of the cringe or the persona that Henry puts on for social media and things like that, he knows that Aljamain is his toughest fight in recent memory. He's going to train, he's going to do what he got to do, and go into that octagon May 6th and give it his all. Because me personally, I'm kind of wondering, like, did he made a mistake coming back into the octagon? Now, if you're retired, most fighters will kind of just stay retired, but then you have few that kind of have that fighter's itch and they come back to the cage. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. But we've seen fighters come back from long layoffs. We've seen Dominic Cruz come back from a 3.5-year layoff and he fought TJ Dillashaw. We've seen George St. Pierre come back from a 4.5-year layoff and fought Michael Bisping and won the UFC middleweight title. So it's very common for fighters to do that. So it really doesn't shock me that he's coming back after all this time. I mean, it's only been like 3 years. It's not like it's like 5 or 6. If he took that long of a layoff, then I'd be like, you know what? He may be pushing it. But from what I've seen, he was training other fighters. I think he was training the Korean Zombie for his fight. And I'm pretty sure he's been training other fighters. So he was always still in MMA. Maybe not as an active fighter, but he was still giving advice to other fighters, training them, and things like that. So Henry, he won't, in my opinion, he won't be as rusty as people think he would be. And if somehow, if he is successful, that he may dominate the bantamweight division once again. Who knows? But gonna flip it to the Aljamain side. Aljamain, he's been on a tear for a long while now. Now, we had the Peter Yan controversy where people kind of questioned whether he faked the injury and things like that. But in the second fight, he righted that wrong and he put on the show. And now he fought TJ Dillashaw sometime, I think, around December. And he stopped TJ Dillashaw, just like Henry did. And he put TJ into retirement. So Aljamain, he's been doing his thing. And whether you love the guy or you hate him, you got to give him his credit. He's the best bantamweight in the world. And he's proven that. He's cleaned out that division already. So I feel like fighting Henry will be his last hurrah at 135. Because it's been reported that if he is successful against Henry, he's going to move up to featherweight. And honestly, that's not a bad move for him. Because he's talked about the weight cut being too drastic. And when you really look back at it, it's understandable. Because as you get older, the weight becomes hard to come off. And him having to struggle to make 135, it could take a toll. So I'm not completely knocking him wanting to move up. It actually would be good for him. But I want to get you guys' thoughts though. How do you feel about the fight? Who do you have winning the fight? And do you think that the fight will be action-packed? Or do you feel like it's going to be lackluster? I'll put it like that. I have my opinion. I think that the fight is going to be action-packed from round one. But you who may come across this video, you may feel differently than I do. And that's fine. Because they're both grapplers, and the fight amongst grapplers is not really exciting like people would think. But Henry and Aljamain are both solid on the feet. So it's not going to be a boring fight at all. I think both fighters would not hesitate to keep the fight standing. So we just have to wait and see. As usual, I would make a prediction video for this fight late next month or early April when I watch their past fights. I'm gonna give my more detailed analysis on both fighters. Then I'll make my prediction afterwards. That's kind of how I do it. If you've been subscribed to the channel for a good minute now. But that's all I have to say on this fight. Leave your thoughts down in the comment sections down below. And that's going to conclude this video. If you liked and enjoyed it, hit that like, that sub button, hit that bell, and click all, so you never miss any of my videos and you will see all of my notifications. LTTV Combat Sports Talk. I'm out of here. Peace.